other interesting culture news, you have the Barbie movie passing $1 billion, which it hit $1 billion in sales a mere 17 days after it was released. Now, I thought the bar could not get any lower in terms of what Americans will put in their bodies, both in terms of food, but also entertainment, media. I should not be surprised that it hit $1 billion. Now, in terms of the breakdown of the box office, and again, this is revenue, not profit, it was $459 million in North America and $572 million internationally. Now, of course, keep in mind, when you hear box office, that's not how much the studio makes. You split that with a movie theater, then you have cost of production, cost of advertising. But given these numbers, it sounds like it'll probably make a profit, even with their huge, the marketing department was brilliant. They had a huge advertising campaign. And in terms of the numbers, it looks like it's the second blockbuster this year. You had Super Mario movies, which surpassed $1 billion as well. And it looks like in terms of post-pandemic era, it's only one of a few companies who have hit $1 billion. You had Spider-Man No Way Home, which, yeah, I can't, without Tobey Maguire, I would never see it, but that's just me. You also had Top Gun Maverick, which Tom Cruise, he's pretty good at selling tickets. Jurassic World Dominion, and Avatar The Way of Water. All of a sudden, I'm not so impressed with the intellect of people who are tuning into all these things, because half those movies seem mediocre, rudimentary at best. Now, it looks like Barbie was actually hitting a milestone, after just 17 days. It became the fastest Warner Brothers movie ever to hit that $1 billion club. And it's the 8th movie in the company's 100 years of history to hit $1 billion. So fiscally speaking, it turns out this is probably fascinatingly, phenomenally good for the executives. Now, it also looks like it passed Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which previously held the record for hitting $1 billion, but they hit it in 19 days. Which also goes to show you how far society has fallen when Harry Potter actually had these rare things that you have to dust off the dictionary. They actually had things like morals, values. You could actually learn from the films and the books, as opposed to the Barbie movie, which, again, is the most pejorative thing in terms of every man. And again, I've only seen, I'll admit, I don't hate myself enough to see the film or to hurt myself like that. If that would please the audience, maybe. If you really want to see my critique of the whole film, perhaps I'll force myself to watch it. That'd be a dark day and probably I would need a recovery perhaps. But it shows you how far, perhaps how people's intellect has fallen. That the movie mentions the patriarchy 6 times. It's not kid appropriate, so if you're taking a kid there, you're morally and mentally vacuous. It's PG-13 for very good reasons. They include masturbation jokes. Every other line is just talking about the patriarchy. It misrepresents Mattel. I don't know how dumb they are in terms of allowing this movie to be made, in terms of the Mattel board of directors. If you look at the real company, they have about a 50-50 split. I believe there's 6-5 in terms of women-men breakdown in the board of directors. In the movie, they make it look like it's exclusively men. And of course, they cast men in the worst shadow. Every man in the movie is a moron or a misogynistic a-hole. And there's no moral to the story. At the end of the movie, the moral is men and women can't coexist. They're not supposed to partner together. It's hard to fathom how low of an IQ this movie just, maybe it chips away at your IQ when you watch the movie, but it certainly doesn't help the viewer grow and develop. And it certainly doesn't make Mattel look good. So it's fascinating to see. Perhaps it is just the nostalgia and the name and the branding, which the marketing department didn't mention a single thing I did. They don't mention the fact that it's so negative in terms of the men and women interactions. It doesn't say how bad it makes it look men. It doesn't even mention the word patriarchy in any of the marketing materials. So the company, Mattel, knew if they let that leak, the movie would bomb epically. Which I suspect whoever in the marketing department certainly deserves a raise, because they bolstered this movie so well, and they just highlighted all the things they wanted to, which of course is the purpose of marketing and advertising, but it didn't actually show the meat of the film. It didn't show the actual content. So, unethical? Yeah, I would say so, but it's astonishing that it passed $1 billion. But time shall tell to see, do Americans start increasing the bar for like their taste or movies? I would say the outlook is not so good. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Also, trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so I greatly appreciate you taking the time to click that subscribe button. Also, taking the time to like and comment, also greatly appreciate. It really helps the channel grow and develop as we try to make the content and production better and better. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your friends, heck, even tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.